So last night was our first night in the trailer. Yeah. Looks like I just woke up. It's because I did. It is literally impossible to close this door with one hand. So, gotta put the camera down to do that.
I'll do it. I'll hold it. I'll hold the camera.
So this is sleeping space underneath, storage space up above, and then there's a small storage compartment up here where we have mostly food items and some cooking stuff. This is the big bed. And this is Stephanie and Lilo's area, at least last night, until Lilo is able to sleep on her own, in which case she's going to be going under here where she will actually fit much better. Up here is storage for the kitchen. We have all kinds of cups, plates, not really all kinds actually, only a couple. I want to specifically mention how awesome the AeroPress is for making coffee in here. If we had, for example, a French press trying to make coffee in this little area here, it would be completely a nightmare. So the AeroPress actually works really well because it's super easy to clean up, and having coffee first thing in the morning here is a huge benefit. This is what was formerly the bed. Obviously there's a little bit of a process in here to get it from sleeping mode into living mode, which feels a little bit like a grappling session because this is not a lot of space for two adults and an infant. Once the table is set up, you have a little bit more room to spread out, and it's it's good to go. There's the rest of the trailer. If I can get this thing to stabilize a little bit, that would be superb. Theoretically, you could sleep another person up there.
Thank you.
And then that's kind of the bottom bunk there. That's actually where I slept last night. It's funny, I always said, like, I don't want to get a haircut and a job, and now that I'm, like, living like a transient, I need to get a haircut more than ever. Being sandwiched in that little shelf and zipped up in a sleeping bag is like basically like being in a straitjacket. You have a hair in your face. You have to like unzip the bag and get your hands out and like get the hair out of your face. You lose all the heat that you had trapped in the bag and you have to start all over again. I like having long hair, but that at this point I feel like it's just vanity. So like making coffee, I felt like took an awful long time.
It did.
Because you can't spill like a single drop.
And you don't really have any. We need to figure out like cooking space. I would think it's gonna probably take us like a month to get a routine down. It's just a lot of reconfiguring. For some reason I thought that stove cover fit over the sink as well, like when we ordered it.
This comes off and we have cooking space here. If you want to have the stove open, you don't really have any counter space.
Can we just leave the cover? Like
so theoretically we would want to put this on here, but you can see that the faucets are in the way, so you can't get that to lay down flat. And what we'll probably do is take this end off of the stove cover so that this way it'll actually slide in and that the faucets won't get in the way, and then actually we'll have another counter space available while we're cooking.
Can you just use the can we use the cupboard, like the cutting board at all, as counter space?
Yeah, not necessarily. I don't know if I would want to do, like, for example, if I'm gonna try to press some coffee here and that happens, that's gonna be a disaster. This is me standing up straight here.
Yeah.
So I have to be like this in order to keep, I have to be like holding a squat in order to like not have my head going through the vent. And then of course down here we have refrigerator. There's a Mr. Buddy heater under the table, which we had going last night a little bit. It was down to like 40 something degrees.
I think around like 3:30 or 4. I woke up because my face was really cold. And then I was worried about Lilo being really cold. And so I was trying to cover her up properly. Well, mainly just her head. But then I didn't want to cover her face with the with the blanket. So I was like trying to tuck the blanket around her head. Belly button.